Welcome to the Tech Informist, episode 47. My name is Kevin Harvell, and I'm joined by JJ Hammond. JJ, how are you?
I am rolling, Kevin. Today is sort of weird, but I'm gonna go with Tombstone Friday anyways. Frederick Blanken Chopin.
Yes, there we go.
You're
Two
welcome.
pound
Tombstone
races.
Friday. Yeah. Man, I'm on fire today.
You are on
Uh,
fire, aren't you?
I am. I'm a little
Yeah,
pissed.
so,
All right.
many of you, we're kind of doing something a little bit different for this episode that will be released on Friday. So, we're recording this a little bit early because I will be at the time of our normal recording. I'll be in Lincoln, Nebraska, giving a podcast presentation at Nebraska Code Conference. So,
Conference.
yes, looking forward to doing that presentation for the wonderful people. And then, I'm in the room that I'm doing this is called the banquet hall at the conference. And guess who's going to be following me? It'll be Richard Campbell and Carl Franklin from .NET Rocks. They're going to be following me in there.
Wow.
So
That's a big
I'm like the opening act for
deal.
for the day.
Right,
So they'll
right,
be
right.
doing a podcasting panel or podcasting thing as well. But just being out there with them, I mean, they've got such a huge following, very well respected. We've actually talked with Richard Campbell on Codecast, one of our
Mm-hmm.
other podcasts as well. I
Yeah.
was actually it was you and Gus Emery did some stuff about that. But back on quote unquote topic for this episode, we're not really going to be talking per se tech news. We might talk about tech news. You just never know because there's obviously so many things that are always going on. But this is going to be more of like,
Anything can happen Friday.
yeah, JJ, Kevin, what do you guys use for your personal devices? What is your setup per se?
Sure, sure.
Just opinions, thoughts, just random.
Yeah.
So this is one episode I would really love to have your feedback of because I would like to know. Maybe you would like to actually have an episode like this more frequently, maybe a once a week.
Mhm.
Yeah, just guys, just go random. Just do something random because it is either really good or it's going to be really bad. We'll let you be the
Ooh.
judge of that as well.
Yeah.
So,
I like that, Kevin. I
yeah.
like it. So let's talk a little bit about the current state of Windows Phone, in our
Okay.
opinion.
Yes.
I want to get this out of the way a little bit. So, um, some of you may see a Twitter repost or comment or something, and it says like, from my, Android for Twitter or whatever. I have a Nexus 5. I use it a lot. I am going to get, because I've now, kind of committed myself to it, a an LG G3. It's not, don't nobody freak out. I still have all my Windows phones. Literally all my Windows phones is almost all Windows phones that have been made since the beginning of time at this point. But I want to, I'd like to have a couple of applications because I installed the thermostat, the Cincy Wi-Fi thermostat, and I want to be able to control the thermostat from my phone. I want to be able to do that. Um, and I want to just try and see the different things and experience the different things because being a tech enthusiast, I need to know this stuff.
hmm
So I
Just
think,
just real quick, the funny thing about this story, listeners, I just learned the same time you did that JJ has got that Sensi thermostat installed.
yeah,
Hey,
yeah, this guy,
we
yeah,
learned at the same time.
yeah, you're in real time. Yeah, no, so what do we think about Google goggles or Google glasses? Oh, yeah, we can talk about that in a minute. So yeah, I think it's important for me to, I don't know, learn a little bit of something of what it's, like to live on the other side or whatever. Now, I'm not going to, use it probably as my main device, but I do want, to see what the different skin that they have, what the search functionality is like, applications, just all that kind of stuff. And not only that is there's an issue with my 1520. In fact, let me just talk about this real quick. So my Lumia 1020, my Lumia 920, and my Lumia 1520 all have software issues. Um, I don't know why per se. I've spent a lot of time trying to fix them,
Is
but
this
I
is
can't.
this one of those IT things, user error?
Yeah, no, it probably is, and I'm fine with that. But it's weird that all three phones have different issues. Okay, so the 920, um, I've dropped it a lot. The screen's uh, edges are all jacked, and they were cutting up my fingers, so it was a whole thing. But the notification system was a little weird, right? Like when a notification would come in, it would restart my phone. Um, which kind of ticked me off. So whatever. So then so that's that phone. Then my 1020 will just shut itself off. It'll just shut itself off for no reason, and I have to do volume down and hold press the power button for however many seconds. I think it's 5
Yeah, for a
or
hard
6.
reset.
Yeah, for a hard reset, and I shouldn't have to do that every time. Um, that really ticked me off, And so then I get the 1520, and I'm like, oh, finally, I love this phone, it's great. And then it's got this stupid on-screen thing where Kevin knows exactly what I'm talking about because it drives him nuts too. Is where you touch the screen, you're touching the screen to say scroll up or down or side to side, whatever, but it clicks on. Like it's almost like a mouse click, right? Or it's like you try to open that thing. Like so many freaking Twitter things open because I'm just scrolling up and it opens up this Twitter thing and I'm like, dang it, I did not want to give that person that hit or whatever. All right, or you accidentally click a link and it opens up a link in Internet Explorer, which is like the last thing you want to do, right? So it really ticks me off. So I'm just like, oh god. So anyway, so then the other thing was Xbox Music. If you're not an Xbox Music subscriber, you're sitting there and you're like, okay, I'm totally cool. I'm hanging out, whatever, this, that, and the other thing. The next thing you know, it just stops playing. Like Xbox Music would just stop playing. You're just like, what the heck? But it says it's playing. So you press pause, and then you press play again. You press pause, then you press play again. You're sitting there, you're like, why is this? Like, why is this doing this? I'm like, I'm so mad. So then I tried VLC, and not tried, rather, I used VLC, and it was great, and it works great, but it still has an on-screen issue. And yeah, it's probably me and dropping the phone as many times as I do, but there's scratches all over it, and it's a whole thing. And then before the Denim update came out, the camera button was just stupid. Well, then now every time I hit the camera button, it locks up my phone. So I have to do a hard reset.
Dang.
And I'm so ticked off about the whole thing because, guys, gals, when you follow me, I bleed Windows Phone. You know this.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I just do. I just do. So I'm just like, okay, fine, whatever. So I'm going to give my 1520 just a break for a minute from dropping it and all this other kind of stuff. And I'm going to mess around with, because there's this lull, right? Between now and when is I think, like, build? Between now and build.
Yeah, which is in April.
Yeah, which is in April. It's not that far away. I'm going to find out at build what the next flagship Microsoft phone is going to be. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get the next flagship Microsoft phone, and it's going to be my daily driver. I know this. But in the meantime, there's nothing wrong with me seeing what's going down on the Android side. There just isn't, because I don't go anywhere for the most part. Kevin knows this, and now you guys who listen to the show know this. I really don't go anywhere. I'm not going to tell you why, but I don't go anywhere. So I'm always home, and I always have my 1520 in hand, and I'm not going to use that as my primary device, but I'm going to mess around with the G3 when it comes in.
Right.
Because I've always been curious about LG's skins. I'm really curious about holding the phone in my hand and not accidentally touching the volume up and down button, the power button, and the camera button. That's one thing about the LG phone that I like a lot, is the buttons on the back. I made fun of that, but now realizing that I could hold a phone and not have to worry about that is kind of cool. You know?
I mean, it did seem weird when they first released that design idea on the G2, we were like,
Hmm.
really? All the volume and power button on the back? But when you factor in that you can simply double tap on the screen to both wake the screen up and turn the screen off, you're like, okay. And you don't really adjust the volume an awful lot usually. I mean, you might adjust the ringer from time to time, but you can always
Right. Right. Right.
swipe down and
Right.
adjust it that way if you want.
Right.
But actually, after using the G2 and the G3, you're like, I actually like this button scheme back there.
Yeah.
So it was kind of nice because sometimes you inadvertently, especially gosh with this Nexus 4, I don't know if it's the ring key fusion case that I've got on it, but I'll just sit there and be just randomly doing something. All of a sudden the volume just shoots up or shoots down. You're like, why? It's because I mean the buttons are on the side, so you're more
Yeah.
apt to accidentally hit those buttons. And
Well, and on the 1520, just to interject real fast, on the 1520 especially because they're so flush with the
yes,
side,
yeah,
it's
they're
so
very
easy to do.
smooth.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just very easy to do.
Like you got to feel for the edges to make sure, okay, that's the volume button and there's the power.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So,
Go ahead, but go ahead.
but yeah, I mean, you talking about the next flagship Windows Phone, hopefully being announced to build. If they don't announce at least one or two devices there, I'll be really super surprised. But even announcing them in April, they're likely not going to be available until like August. I mean, you figure July at the
Yeah,
earliest.
yeah, totally. Yeah. So
So,
there's going to be a lull there.
yeah,
And I'm going to have
you still
both
got months.
devices in my pocket, I'm going to be seeing if I can get enough camera rigs to turn into the Hulk.
There you go.
But my point is that I think that in the interim time, I got a Windows 7, I got a Windows 10, I got a Windows 8.1, I got my Surface, I got my Band. I wouldn't mind having an LG. What is that called? The LG Watch R or something like that?
Yeah, the G Watch R.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I wouldn't mind having that to try that out and see what's going on because that's basically like having an Apple Watch. So or for the most part. I mean,
Yeah,
it
very
turns out,
similar.
yeah, except for watching videos on it, you can't do that. But so anyways, long story short of it is in the interim, I'd like to see what it's like. I mean, I just I don't know. You can't get the same experience with the Nexus 5 because the battery life totally just sucks beyond all belief. Like you use it for an hour, it's out, it's done. Um, so there's a 3,000 milliamp battery I think in the G3. Also, the edge-to-edge display is going to be gorgeous. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I'll share my thoughts. But
Yeah, the G3 is such a nice device. I mean, I had
yeah,
bought one recently through a Facebook group and got a really good deal on it and turned it around. I mean, I bought it knowing, I knew that it wasn't for a carrier that I use,
hmm.
but I was like, ooh, I can actually make some money. It can help us, buy, more stuff.
Right, right, right.
So, I bought it and turned around and sold it on Swappa for, a little bit of a profit. But if it would have been an AT&T device, I would have kept it because I mean it was
Yeah,
such a great deal on it. And this honestly, this thing was flawless. It was
yeah,
such great shape, but it was on Verizon, and I'm not a Verizon customer.
right.
I love Verizon service though,
Yeah,
but
it's
on a
really good.
family plan with my dad now because I mean it's just him,
Right.
and we've got three lines ourselves, so it just somewhat saves us some money in but we get a lot more data. We split like 15 gigs, and get to use the majority of that when I'm out and about using my phone as a hotspot. So
Right. Yeah. Right. And I think I don't know. It's the way to go for me right now while I'm waiting.
yeah, you
I
may as well get one of the still one of the best Android devices available.
yeah.
Even like the Note 4, and it's
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say, yeah. Yeah, I was just getting ready to say. I mean, I think other than the Nexus 6, you got the Nexus 6, you got the Note 4, and you've got LG G3. I think
yeah,
those are the top three Android phones. So,
right. Unless you're a
um,
Verizon customer, then you want to grab the Droid Turbo and get like 3 days
oh yeah,
battery
that's
life,
right. Yeah, that's
or
right. That's
even
right.
the
That's right. Yeah.
Xperia Z3, or battery life. Boom.
Yeah, and another thing I want to talk about real quick before we move on is Perfect Music. We're all in our chat room. Totally, I really appreciate him posting this. I really do. This app, I can't believe I haven't talked about it up until now, but it's really nice. It's a really good app. There's some issues with it, but I think the user interface looks really nice. Um, yeah. Anyways, so thank you, Rawl, as always. You're an amazing guy. So yeah. Plus, I wanted. So I posted on Twitter recently, Kevin. You probably saw this, where I said I want a phone, my next device, my next phone, to be a 1080p screen or higher with wireless charging, no camera bump in the back, and 3,000 milliamp battery or higher, um, and a decent camera. Honestly, the G3 fits all that, because I can get a backplate that wireless charges, and I can get several different wireless charging stuff for it. I think
Hmm.
Raul posted that in the chat room. Again, thanks, Raul. And yeah, so there you go. That's what I want to talk about. Now, the current state of Windows Phone. So right now, if you were to get a 1520, you have to go onto the Microsoft Store pretty much, because no AT&T carrier store has this phone anymore. Trust me, I've looked. Um, the other frustrating thing is, if you want an 830, you're not going to be as happy if you had a 1520. There is no update from the 1520 right now. I've been kicking around the idea of getting an HTC One M9 or M8 for Windows. That's not going to happen, because there's just too many things, in my opinion, that hold the phone back. If I'm going to be spending, like, how much is it, Kevin? It's ridiculous. It's like $600
Yeah,
still.
it's still like $640 brand new.
Yeah. So then you've got the 930. Well, I like LTE, and frankly, I don't want to buy a Poland version of a phone. I want a US variant, even
Right.
if it is unlocked. Um, so the other thing is, there is no flagship phone. There just isn't. Sorry. But the 920 is a great phone. Wonderful. Love it. Again, guys, when you cut me, I bleed Windows Phone.
Yep.
Seriously.
2-year-old hardware.
Yeah, 2-year old hardware. I can't, So if you take all of these different things into account, the Microsoft, the 640 is nice, the 635 is nice. All these things are quote unquote nice, but they're not flagship devices,
Yeah, they're
right?
not the high-end hardware that
Right.
everybody's been demanding and
I
and
can't play
wanting.
Transformers with Kevin. It's like I can't do certain things that I really want to do. Still very frustrating.
Right.
Uh,
The app
so
gap.
Well, I don't. It's not. There's not really an app gap. I would just say that there's a specialty thing that isn't there yet. And for me, being a technology geek, I want to be all techie, and that's not where the Windows Phone bread and butter is. It just isn't, because you think about skins, and you think about where Android, where you think about all this other kind of stuff, or even if you're on iOS, you know those are the two places for the mobile market right now. Like, to really just kind of dig deep in finding about developers and all this other kind of stuff, but using stuff that's in the hardware, right?
Right.
So, anyways, when the 940 comes out, or whatever it's called, you can bet your bottom that I'm going to be on it. You know,
Day
but like
one.
I said, but like I said, right now it totally sucks, man. And like I was talking to our Microsoft meetup group. I was talking to them about, it's like, hey, did you guys even know that even if you get a 1080p screen right now, the operating system isn't running on that. It's still 800 by, what is it, 640 or something like that.
Right.
And it's just like, I have an eyesight problem. Again, I'm not bashing them. I'm just saying that, like, I wish that everything was where I wanted it to be, because I like crisp edges. I have astigmatism, so when I'm looking at stuff in dark mode on Windows Phone, 'cause I have to have it in the light theme. I have it in the light theme, because in dark mode, if it's like a blue, or like the letters are kind of dark, or whatever, it's really hard for me to read. So that's another problem.
Right.
So what are your thoughts on all the stuff that I said?
I agree with it. We need more Windows devices, and there's just not enough Windows phones to go around, and at least not for the market that I'm in. I'm in a
Right.
different category as many people are. We know that we need some higher end devices, and
Hmm.
boy, they've really saturated the market with a lot of these lower end things with only 8 gig of internal storage. Sorry, even if it does have a micro SD card slot, It's not enough for me.
Right.
Gotta start with at least 16.
At
Spend
least. Yeah.
companies, they need to spend at least a couple extra dollars to double that 8 gig storage.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So yeah, and I think with this idea of Cortana going everywhere, part Project Spartan probably going everywhere. I can get Xbox Music now on Android. It's not exactly the same, but it's really, really close as to the Windows Phone experience. And you can get Office now on Android, which is like the exact same experience you can get on Windows Phone.
Hmm.
There is no differentiator anymore, or
No.
there won't be, I should say, as of right this moment.
Yeah.
So that means that I want to take this time to see what's going on and how they're doing it to figure out when Microsoft's there, I'm ready.
Right.
I'll be all over it. But in the meantime, I'm gonna mess around with some other stuff just for
Yeah.
knowledge, because I like to learn. I mean, Kevin, that's one thing about me, dude. I love to learn. I
Right.
really do. Um, I don't work well with others. I'm an angry person. I deal with a lot of crap, but I do love to learn.
Right.
So, anyway, so Kevin, why don't you talk about just whatever you want to talk about?
All right. Oh, I get to talk. Yay. As just real quick, as Raul mentions in the chat, 16 gigs should be the standard on all phones. While I agree with that, I actually kind of disagree because I would rather them start at 32. I mean, memory is not as expensive as they like to charge for the upgrades.
I see your 16 and raise you.
Yeah, and I still go back to the what Apple did with the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. They went 16, 64, 128. Why did you just jump by the 32? Just not even include 32? I mean, I know I've
Right.
talked about it on a previous episode a
Yeah.
while back, but
I remember
I
that.
don't get that. It's like,
Yeah.
16 is not these days it's to the point it's not even enough. I mean, it's nice to have that starting option, but why would you jump past a really sweet point that would be great for entry for the entry level version?
Mm-hmm.
It's just I don't know. I don't understand companies sometimes. It's like, oh, we really listen and value our users, but then we don't listen to what they have to say very often.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, not just not just on the Windows Phone side, but I mean just every manufacturer, every this, every that. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Especially for developing countries. When we talk about, I mean, I know people who listen to the show obviously are techies. How many times do you just like in your mouth, when you hear them go, well, we've announced this very low cost thing that has absolutely no memory, because for the most part these guys are totally not always on a network. You need to give them the storage necessary to travel offline for a minute or two. You
Right.
know, that's frustrating.
Yeah. I mean, and Roll, I do understand. You mean that for low end devices, and I do fully agree with that.
Yep.
If you're going to
Yep.
do a 535 or a 635 or a 640, something that's not quote unquote classified as high end flagship status, you got to have 16 gig. I mean, just think how much more awesome and much better of a seller the Moto E and the Moto G would be
Oh yeah.
if it had 16 gig of storage.
Yeah.
And the Moto E, especially for like what, $140, I
Yeah.
think it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's right now. That's its only negative check mark is the fact that it is 8 gig of storage.
Right.
I don't know. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about is just last night. Yesterday was my stepson's birthday, and I
Oh, that's right.
took a bunch of pictures and stuff like that. And my wife wanted me to share some pictures with her, and I was getting some work done on this MacBook. And I told her, I'm like, I really don't know why I was so resistant to get a Mac, because it's like every day that I use this, it's like, wow, it's a very fun and easy experience. Sure, it costs more, and you can get a very similar, experience hardware wise with a PC for much less as well. But I'm finding you get what you pay for. Like with the Surface Pro 3, yeah, it's a premium device, and you get what you pay for. It's a better experience than just a standard, $300-$400 laptop, with this Surface Pro, I can do more with the Surface Pro than I feel I can do with a $200 or $300 laptop, or especially even a Chromebook.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's reasons why, you know, some things you pay more, and well, you actually get more. I get, pretty consistent 7 to 9 hours of battery life on this MacBook when I'm out and about. Sure, I might have to turn brightness down or something like that, but I can spend the majority of a day at a conference and still have a little bit of juice left at the end of the day. And
That's amazing.
that's taking notes through each session. It's starting at 8 o'clock and finishing up at like 4:30. And once you close the lid and it goes to sleep, it does not hardly use any battery. If you close it and it's at 77%, you open it up 2 hours later, you might be at 76%. It's it's really been an eye-opening experience as somebody
Yeah.
that's
Never had that, you know?
yeah, I've never really
That's
used
why
a Mac.
that's why I don't treat myself to anything high end because dude, once I get a taste,
Your
it's hard for
expectations
me
for
to
everything.
yeah, for sure. Like I'm skewed.
Yeah, so I don't want to sit here and say I'm some Android or Apple fanboy or something like that. I'm not a fanboy of any platform. I
No,
like each and every platform.
this guy's got a little bit of everything. You can believe that. Look,
Mm.
if there's one thing me and Kevin aren't, we're not BSers, man. Like we're legit. Like when I say I'm, Microsoft whatever fanboy, that's what I am,
Yeah.
But I mean, Kevin, no. He is
Oh,
agnostic like there's nobody's business.
yeah. Yeah, I'm open to using everything. I love my Android devices. Currently, my only Android device is a Nexus 4.
Well, that wasn't always the case. I mean, you had
No,
a
I had a
6 for a
Nexus 6
little
for a
bit. Yeah.
while.
Yeah, but there was some wonky stuff that was all messed up with it. It wasn't like you didn't like it.
No, I
It was
love it. I
yeah.
actually miss it right now.
Yeah, so it's not that at all. I mean, it's totally just because of
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
situation.
and now I'm just waiting to see what LG's going to have in store. I mean, I haven't physically seen, but I know what's coming with the Galaxy S6. I know what's coming with the HTC One M9. I know what's coming with those two phones.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try them out as soon as our contacts with AT&T and Verizon get us units to
Oh
try.
yeah, when are they gonna do that? Should be doing
Well,
that
I mean,
pretty
they won't
soon.
be out until April,
No, I
so
want them now. I
it'll
want
be,
them now.
yeah, it'll be it'll be next month, and we'll have reviews and opinions and thoughts on those as well. But for a personal device, depending on what LG comes out with, will determine, do I just stay with an LG G3 as well, like you,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe I'll just go ahead and get a Note 4, because Note 4 that was a solid device from
Oh
my
yeah,
time I
dude.
spent with it.
Yeah, I can't stand Samsung or anything related to that. Thought it was a nice device.
Yeah, just the build quality on it was fabulous. Like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, this is done right, and I like that build a lot more than what I've seen, in pictures and
Yeah.
videos of the S6.
Yeah.
I don't like the glass back idea.
Yep. Let's take a moment to talk a little bit about behind the scenes. So Kevin and I talk to each other all the time.
Frequently.
Yeah, all the time. And we joke around and stuff. One of the things that some people have asked in the past is, how do you guys feel about, cussing and, profanity, that sort of thing? The reason why I bring this up is I have so much respect, and this is more of an entertainment thing, for shows, TV shows, and all this other kind of stuff that can accomplish what mature and R-rated things can by not doing that. When I watch certain shows on TV and stuff, like Kevin's favorite show, Sons of Anarchy, what they were able to do and not drop the F-bomb every 5 seconds was amazing, right? I mean, the quality of the show was still phenomenal. Now, don't get me wrong; it would have been hilarious, to hear.
Yeah, I mean, it was still a very rough, violent
Yeah,
show that showed and
but it was a really
talked
good
about a lot.
story. I
Yeah.
mean, not was. I mean, it is a really good story, and I think I think the reason why me and him have me Kevin and I should say rather, so I can not sound like an idiot. Kevin and I rather don't do that sort of stuff online and have a filter like that for the chat room is like we believe we can convey what we want to convey without using profanity or being negative
Right.
on as well. I mean, we give people a hard time and companies a hard time, like you know. Yeah, we just do, and I think, but I think that we try to do what we can, because like again, Kevin and I, we have dealt with some loss, and we believe that time is short, and we just want to be happy dudes, man, um, and provide that level of positive vibes, so that even if you're a hater, you're just like on the inside a little bit there's a part of you that's like I love these guys, I can't stop. you know
Mhm.
so what do you think about that, Kevin?
Yeah, I completely agree. It's like you don't need to use all the profanity to get your point across. I mean, I understand, you're in a fit of rage, almost anything's going to come out.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're just having a casual, calm conversation, there's no need for that to be in every other word, or at least in every sentence or every other sentence. You don't need to have you know, a GD or F this and S
Mm-hmm.
that. I'm like, no, you just don't need to. And just, I don't know, I'd rather not have a conversation like that. I was listening to a local radio show the other day, and the host, Frank Opinion, was talking about, one of the best ways to get to know somebody is to go golfing with them, because
Oh, interesting.
you kind of get to see, you're in your own little group, just sometimes one on one, or you might be a group of three or a group of four, just out playing golf, and people are willing to let their guard down a little bit, see if they've got a sense of humor and how they react when they botch a shot or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Are they somebody that's going to break a club over their knee and or just start cursing and get mad with every bad shot, or are they going to say, hey, nice shot, or you really, yeah.
Yeah, you really shanked that one.
Yeah. So I think it was kind of an interesting thought. It's like, I like playing golf. I don't play nowhere near as often as I would like to.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this spring I
You
might
should do that, Kevin.
try to go play.
I don't know, but I've been told and I've come to realize that I'm only good in small doses, and Kevin talks to me like every day. So this dude either has like some massive patience or he's plotting my death.
Yeah.
He's just using it all to one day eventually just kill me.
Oh,
But we
stop.
should we should totally go play golf sometime. That'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
I think it'd be fun. Get a couple people to go and
I
hit up the
can't
local
I can't
course.
imagine that I'll end up with actually golf clubs in my golf bag at the end of the
Yeah,
because
be
I'll
one of those
throw
guys that
them.
throw them
No,
into
dude, I'm one of
lake.
those guys that'll break that crap over my knee.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
you won't be using my set then.
okay. So yeah, I mean, so like behind the scenes a little bit. I mean, we talk a lot about technology, and honestly, what you guys hear is how we are offline. I mean, that we joke around, um, and people freak out when they find out that me and him have only known each other for a little while, not a whole long time, and
Yeah, it'll be
just be
2 years this July, I believe.
yeah, and it's like people are nah. It's like you guys have known each other forever. But no, yeah, we just I don't know. We just clicked pretty well. I mean, our personalities match up pretty well, and it all
Right.
it all works well. But one of the things that's going on right now, and one of the things I want to talk about is we do this show. We look at news stories and we're like, God, what do people want to hear? And then what do they want to hear us talk about? It's kind of an interesting balance. The other thing is right now there's a live stream of the Uncarrier event that we could totally be talking about, but it's
Yeah,
just
with
like,
T-Mobile.
how do we do the show in the morning and then a whole bunch of news comes out later in the day. So then it's old news sometimes when we talk about it on the next show. And it's just kind of hilarious, I find sometimes. But Kevin, what's going on with the live stream right now? Is there anything interesting?
Let's see. I mean, T-Mobile's talking about simplified business plans. 10 lines for 160, 100 lines for 1500, 1,000 lines for 15,000. So I mean, they're just talking a lot about business. stuff like that. Like T-Mobile's tweeting out, today we go after the last stronghold of AT&T and Verizon, small and medium-sized businesses.
Really?
Yeah.
Uh, okay. Correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't T-Mobile make you pay full price for these phones now?
Not necessarily. I mean, they got the same kind of thing. The AT&T, you can either pay full price or you can do, pay monthly kind of things.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's pretty much the same way, like with everybody. Oh, the other thing that's frustrating about Windows Phone, Sprint. When you talk about T-Mobile, just in general conversation with other techies, if I feel like, and maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong on how you feel about this, but it always turns into this. You've got AT&T and Verizon. You talk about them too, and then when you talk about T-Mobile, then you all of a sudden the conversation goes about to T-Mobile and Sprint.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like it goes that way sometimes?
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting that way. It's like, but it's interesting that T-Mobile's John Legere is just like, God, we're kicking Sprint's butt. It's like, well, you didn't have to kick them in the throat while they were down. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Sprint's going through some hard times, man. I mean, really hard times. Which I thought it was kind of weird that in one of their commercials they got this lady that's cutting an AT&T or Verizon bill with like a scimitar, not unlike what's being used to cut the heads off of people in the ISIS stuff.
Yeah.
They should have probably pulled that a little too soon, maybe little too soon. So that's interesting. Another thing is what is been interesting to you, Kevin, to see from what we've heard about these new devices thus far? I mean, honestly, the M8, or excuse me, the M9, the one, and the Galaxy S6, and the iPhone 6, it feels like some parity. Like they're all starting to reach this point where they're all pretty much the same.
Yeah, I mean, it's all very similar hardware. It's just a matter of which ecosystem you want to be in.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to be in the Android ecosystem? Do you want to be in the iOS? Do you want to be in the Microsoft ecosystem?
Right.
So
Right.
I mean, each company has to, I mean, it's like we mentioned on episode 46 with HTC and this, the protection plan. It's little things like that's what each company has to do, especially in the Android market, that you've got to do to help separate yourself from
Mm-hmm.
the other device makers. Like, oh, we'll do this if you buy our devices.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like Motorola right now, I think you have until the 24th that if you order a, uh, oh gosh, Moto X 2014, the Pure Edition, if you order one until
Oh
then,
yeah.
for like 349 or three something like that, you get a free Moto E.
Wow.
And it's
Yeah.
like, that's a good deal.
That's a good deal.
That's
Yeah.
a good deal 'cause, I mean,
Uh,
both good phones.
Rawl was talking about Apple soon to take Android phones and Windows phones. I don't know if that's in this link or not, but they're
Yeah,
going to
it's
take
trade-in.
Android, as trade-in. Now, did they do that before, or?
I don't know. I don't know. It's
I knew
weird.
they took. I knew like AT&T, like carriers did, but I
Yeah.
didn't ever know if Apple did.
I
Yeah.
don't think Apple's ever done that before.
That's interesting. The other one that Rawl has posted in here, which thank you, by the way, again, is the pay-to-play stuff. I don't pay to play. I will get that version, and I will sit like a rock and not pay crap. I'll just wait for my achievements to come naturally. I know I'm going to lose like a gajillion times, and if I bought that one little thing to help me out, I could get past this level, but I'm going to wait you out.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of the person that will rarely pay like actual cash for, you know, device perks or things like that, in-game purchases for games that I play. I spent a couple dollars on the Transformer game in there, and it actually helped me get a really good character. So
Oh yeah, that's right, man. You should write. You should do like a bard type of document your journey through the Transformers game,
yeah, the
because you
fact I
put
have
some
a river,
serious time into that.
The fact I haven't written a review on that yet is kind of odd, but maybe I'll
Hmm.
work on that once I get back from the conference this weekend.
Yeah. Uh, let's see. So, do you want to go into talk about some movies and entertainment and stuff like that?
Yeah. I mean, some movies that I'm looking forward to is obviously we've talked about the new Avengers: Age of Ultron. We really looking forward to that. I'm actually looking forward to also to the Minions movie. The Minions, well
Oh,
known
from
from
Despicable Me?
yeah, from Despicable Me. The little trailer is kind of cute and stuff like that.
I didn't know that they were going to have their own movie. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
comes out in a couple months. And
I've
also,
only seen the first one. I haven't
yeah,
seen the second one.
second one's pretty good.
Hmm.
And also Peanuts, Charlie Brown Snoopy, that's actually going to have it. They're going to do a more CGI, or not really CGI, but a new animated film with updated animation. I don't know if that's 2015 or if that's 2016, but there's trailers floating around about that too, and that's really cool.
You know
Looking
what
forward to that as
movie
well.
would be amazing? Is if World of Warcraft ever had like a legit movie made. It would be sick.
Yeah, it would be cool if Blizzard would kind of allow something like that to happen.
That would just be freaking crazy. Or even Diablo. I mean, some of those
Ooh,
things would just be freaking creepy, man.
yeah.
That'd be really awesome. I think that'd be a lot of fun stuff.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, Terminator Genesis is coming out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Arnold makes his return.
Yeah, I don't know what that's going to be like. Um,
Yeah, I'm worried about that.
yeah, because Terminator Salvation, I think it was. That was pretty all right. You know. Um, but I don't know if anything, and I don't mean this in a bad way. I don't know if anything could really take the place of Transformers 2. Because when Arnold's going into the fire pit,
You mean
you know,
Terminator 2?
what did I say?
Transformers 2.
Oh, sorry,
Sorry.
Terminator 2. My bad. Oh my gosh. Well, uh,
Transformers on the brain.
so Raul, can you tell me if that's like a Lord of the Rings type movie, or if that's like just an all CGI movie, or like an animated whatever. Anyway, so Terminator 2, amazing.
Yeah,
That's
it
such a
was,
good movie.
Robert Patrick playing the bad Terminator. Well, like
Hmm.
that was really good.
That was really good. Fantastic Four,
Yeah.
agreed. That's going to be awesome. Uh, I've been super stoked about all of what DC's doing. The Arrow. If you guys haven't watched that, you guys totally should. It's an amazing deal. The Flash. I'm going to catch up on all those. Um, I would like to Marco Polo. The last couple of episodes of that. That's been really great.
Yeah. I've still only watched the one episode.
What?
Yeah, I
It,
know.
the other ones are better.
Okay. I mean, I liked the first episode. I thought it was good. So there's just so many things to watch and so little time to watch things right
It's
now.
true. It's true.
It's
You know,
tough.
yeah, a lot of people give a lot. Well, so what's a movie that I didn't like that everybody else liked? No Country for Old Men. I got it, but I thought that the ending was like, huh? It was just weird. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I still haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, don't waste your time. It's really not like
I've
it.
heard it's really good though.
Yeah, don't waste your time.
Then again, there's a lot of movies, I mean, that like win Academy Awards and Oscars and stuff like that that you're like, how did that win?
I still haven't watched 12 Years a Slave. Still haven't watched that.
I haven't seen that either. I actually want to see Selma also.
Oh yeah, I want to watch that too. Yeah. Um, yeah, there's just so many good movies out there. I like watching documentaries too. It's a
Hmm.
lot of fun. Kevin and I, little behind the scenes stuff. We enjoy history, so we kind of geek out a little bit about history sometimes.
Yeah.
So like historical places. Um, we were just joking around about going to Thomas Jefferson's house that he built there.
Yeah. Monticello.
Yeah, Monticello. It's totally cool. But yeah, so I thought the movie Lincoln was amazing.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Oh gosh, yeah.
that was a good movie.
I saw it 3 times in theaters.
Gosh, it's so good.
I got it in Blu-ray and oh yeah. love Daniel Day-Lewis. That was such a phenomenal acting job in that. And Steven Spielberg. I mean, it took the movie forever to come out. I mean, it first started hearing about it back in like 2008, and it finally released in like 2013. I was like, it's about time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I have not followed a movie's progress so much that the way that I did that. Every bit of news. I mean, I had all kinds of feeds set up that anytime something was mentioned about that, I knew about it.
Mm.
Watching this Lincoln assassination forum that's all about stuff like that. People that lived in the area where they did a lot of the filming, they were they would actually go to the set and take photos and stuff like that and post them. So that was really neat to see as it developed the progress and stuff.
Nice. That's awesome, dude. That's really awesome.
Yeah,
Um,
if you want to have a long discussion with me, let's talk some Lincoln stuff because I am like a Lincoln buff. I just love reading and visiting Springfield, Illinois. Thankfully, it's just a not that far a drive actually for me to just hop over there to the museum and everything.
that guy was just an amazing guy. He
Hmm.
really was. He really was. Just an amazing guy.
Yeah, I mean, not
Um,
perfect, obviously. We've all got our faults, but when it comes to presidents that have actually done a lot of good, I mean, overall, I mean, how can you not say he was one of the best leaders?
yeah, for sure. Yeah, especially during a time like when he was and all that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't have
Kingsman,
wanted.
12 Years Slave.
I
Yeah.
would not have wanted to been in his shoes.
Yeah. Gosh, I was just thinking about a movie and it totally escaped.
Slipped my mind.
Yeah. Oh well, doesn't matter. That happens a lot. So yeah, I think we can really look forward to a lot of stuff that's coming out, like DC. The
Superman.
Superman,
Yeah.
Batman stuff's gonna be good.
Yeah. Yes, it's Ben
Uh,
Affleck playing Batman. Oh my gosh. End of
Whatever.
the world. No. Just go into it and see if you enjoy it or not.
Yeah, you're all still gonna watch it. Doesn't make
I know I
any
would.
difference. And oh, we're not against profanity. Just to let everybody know, we like some. It's freaking hilarious. Don't get me wrong, but we just don't do it on our show. That's
Yeah,
all.
just not casual conversation.
Right, right. And so, The Walking Dead. I know, Kevin, you haven't watched it, but you need to so that you can be considered an American. Let's just say that.
So I'm not American if I
So,
haven't watched The Walking Dead.
so
All right.
just because you think you're Lincolned up enough, you're not American this century, sir, until you have seen The Walking Dead.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
serious, man. Like,
It's on the queue,
is it?
along with Breaking Bad and all sorts of other shows.
Now, I don't know this or not, but is The Walking Dead on Netflix and all Amazon or anything like that?
I believe it is.
Okay.
I mean, obviously they're season or two behind because
All
they can't
right.
keep up as much.
All right.
I mean, go ahead and I'll look that up actually while I'm sitting here.
Okay. So no one is American enough if they haven't watched that show. Um, I agree that the African American characters die pretty quick.
Yeah, seems to be on all shows and stuff. I mean, it's like the running thing. Oh, the token black guy just got killed. First
I
up.
hate that. Yeah, it's whatever. So what? Okay, real quick before we end the show, what's your thoughts on all of the different ways that you can consume TV on your TV? Like specifically after listening to me, Richard, Vernon, and Daniel talk about Roku, Xbox, Xbox One, the NVIDIA Chromecast, all this other stuff, Amazon Fire TV. What's your thoughts on all this? I mean, I know that it's one of those things where only the kind of the geeks kind of care about this sort of stuff for the most part.
Mhm.
And I mean, normals venture into this a little bit, but not a whole lot. Um, I I'm just really interested to see where this goes.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean personally, I don't consume a lot of content on my computers per se. I mean, I'll use like my Dell Venue Pro 8. I mean, basically that's like now my new Netflix machine. I'm
Hmm.
just like sitting or laying in bed or whatever. I can plug in the headphones and fire something up on Netflix, which does have the first 4 seasons of Walking Dead, by the way.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, I love using the Amazon Fire TV because it has access to Amazon Prime streaming, which I am a Prime member, and also Netflix and other services as well. A lot of times, if for TV shows, I just use like our Uverse on demand and catch up with some TV shows. But there's also some other good websites out there that if you just want to go back from the beginning and it's not on Netflix to watch a TV show, that you can watch pretty much every episode of a specific TV show as well. And I just like the fact that there's so many different ways that we can consume content that reach all different price points. I mean, the
Hmm.
Chromecast, $35. And you can get a Roku for like $50. The Apple TV now $70, 69.99.
Well, and Walmart sells their Voodoo stick now for like $25.
Yeah, yeah, but you don't get nothing with that.
How many returns do you think they get?
God, I don't know. It's that's like a used car salesman kind of thing. Oh yeah, here's this great device here. It's only $25 cheaper than the Chromecast. Yeah, and then as soon as you drive around the corner, the tires fall off. You walk back and say, "Nope, sorry. See here, bought it as is.
Uh-huh.
Had a 500-foot warranty. You drove it over 500 feet. Warranty's expired."
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I totally mean this in no offense, but if you watch the Car Trader commercial, I think it's got the boys from the South, what are the Daisy Dukes or what are
Oh,
they
Dukes of
called?
How
Yeah.
can you not know? Seriously, Dukes at your. Oh my God,
I'm a kid, man. I'm younger than you.
that
I'm a
doesn't
young
matter.
man. I'm a young man. All right.
Gosh, Dukes of
Uh,
Hazzard, man. Boss
Dukes of
Hogg,
Hazzard.
Roscoe P. Coltrane. Jeez.
I know people are going to lose respect for me, but I've never seen that show. I've never
Gosh.
seen it. I've seen Smoking the Bandit. Does that count for anything?
It gives you a little bit of street cred
All
back.
right. All right. Well, it's not really street cred. It's the gravel road cred back, I think.
Oh, here we go. What is this like anti? Oh gosh, hating on the Hicks.
Oh, stop. I've got like. Yeah,
Hillbilly hating.
yeah, Hilton. I'm not Hilton. No, no. Shoot, if I said that too loud, I'd actually be murdered here where I live. Anyway, so one of the interesting things the next time, if you guys want to do a social exercise, if those guys were African Americans in that car, pretty sure that the cops would execute them. Because they're driving a stolen vehicle and running from the cops, jumping through barns and
The
all sorts of
General
other
Lee
stuff.
is their car. That's not the General Lee is not a stolen vehicle. They're running moonshine.
Okay, still illegal. Switched it out with some drugs. Still the same problem. But just think about that as a social exercise. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to mess with anybody. I'm just saying I saw that, and with all the recent news with the local stuff here, I'm just like,
Yeah, that
interesting.
I
Hey,
could take that conversation down a crazy rabbit hole
by the way,
that I'm not.
I like watching. There's something wrong with me. It's documented, so trust me. But I watch those shows that people get hurt on and stuff like that. And yeah, Raw, I agree. I like watching people get hurt. One of the things is the cop chase shows and stuff. I once watched a cop. Let's see, there was.
Like World's Dumbest Criminals stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. I
that.
love those things.
Yeah, those
Love
are
those, dude. I will start crying because I'm laughing so hard.
yes.
So this cop now this. Okay, so I'm not crying. I'm laughing so hard about what I'm about to say. But this cop in just a normal chase, just a chase, right? These two guys, they're driving through at like 100 miles an hour through a 20-mile-an-hour school zone. So this cop gets all mad. They box this car in. Dude jumps on the hood of this car, empties a clip into the driver. The cop is on the hood of the car, like on his knees,
Oh,
with his
jeez.
gun pointed at the driver, and empties his entire clip into the driver.
Wow.
Now, they didn't kill anybody, the driver, but they could have for sure. But I was like, oh my God! And then right after I
Excessive
watched
much?
that, no, I swear to God, this is exactly how it went. Right after I watched that, I don't have a DVR or anything, so I couldn't go fast forward through commercials. It was the Dukes of Hazzard commercial being chased by the cop cars,
Oh,
and they jumped through
yeah, the Geico commercial
the
or whatever
yeah,
commercial
yeah,
it is.
yeah. So they jumped through the thing and the thing and the thing and the thing, and I was like, oh my God! Like, how are you gonna show that and then immediately show this? It's like, whoa!
Yeah,
Just if the cops caught up with you, bro, you're gonna get a clip dumped into you. I'm just saying.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, who'd have thought?
yeah. Hey, look, we're people of the internet. We see a bunch of crazy stuff come over the internet, and that's just one of the crazy things that I saw. You know,
Yeah,
just wanted to say.
yeah, I mean, there's so much out there that I know I am completely naive to, and just I have no idea what goes on in certain corners of the internet. And I think I'm actually glad to not know
Oh,
that.
dude, I am totally glad. I am fine sometimes burying my head in the sand because I know my butt's gonna get kicked. Um, because yeah, some of it you just gotta.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of it that. But hey, this was a special episode, guys. This and gals. This was just
Random discussion.
random discussions. We had an awesome. We have a brother from another mother, Rawl, in the chat room who gave us some awesome links and stuff to check out. We really appreciate that. We also appreciate all the people who are going to listen to this later and say this had nothing to do with technology. What are you guys doing? You know, this was a special episode. Okay, this wasn't like a normal one, like Kevin said at the very beginning. If you like this kind of random, crazy, off the wall talk, then sure. We
Yeah,
may
let
do
us know.
this.
We might do a little 30-minute episode from time to time talking about random stuff like this. If you like it, let us know. Email it, contact at the Tech Inform or yes, at thetechinformist.com. Got to make sure I get the right show and website here.
All right.
God, so many things.
I know so many things to keep track of, but I had a really good time. Kevin, best of luck to you in your presentation on Friday.
Oh,
And yeah,
it'll go well. Teach some other people how to do podcasts and stuff like that, and tell other people about what we're doing. That's kind of what it's all about. Spreading the love, spreading the knowledge.
yeah. I'm going to be a guest appearance on. I guess I can say this. I'm going to be a guest appearance on the Dangerously Smart podcast. They're a
Mhm.
local podcast on Saturday, so
And I
they
guess
do curse.
yeah, yeah. It definitely would not make the iTunes
Huge.
filter.
Yeah, huge disclaimer filter on that one. Or huge disclaimer on that one, I should say.
They talk about a lot of good stuff, though.
No. That's not a dig to them by any stretch. They're fantastic guys. I like them a lot.
Yep. So I guess that pretty much does it. If you don't have anything else to say, I will go ahead.
You shouldn't ask me that. If you don't have anything else, really,
JJ's always got something to say.
I've always got something to say.
Yeah.
May not be audible. May sound somewhat like a Neanderthal's talking, but I've always got something to say.
Yeah. Well, Raw would like a link for the Dangerously Smart podcast, so shoot that over to him there in the chat as well.
I will find that for you, sir.
Right
meow.
Yeah, so again, we do appreciate everybody that, listens, watches live on a regular basis. We really do appreciate that. We love the interaction as the community grows in the chat room and stuff like that. We got a great group of people that join us on a fairly regular basis when time allows. I know some people, they try to catch and hop in while they're at work from time to time when it's, available for them if they're not in meetings and things like that. But we also do appreciate each and every one of you people that like to listen and watch after the fact when catch it on the replay as well. So, and I also want to remind everybody as well that we still have our T-shirt campaign going over at teespring.com. I believe you can find that simply by going to thetechinformist.com/apparel, and you can find a way that can help support the show and stuff like that, because we're going to use all the proceeds that come from this campaign to purchase updated audio equipment to help make the show sound even better. and anything above and beyond that will go towards buying things to give away to listeners such as yourselves on future Tech Informist giveaways. So the more we raise, the bigger and better those things will be. It could be gift cards, it could be actual devices, it could be accessories, could be a Mophie power case, or it could be a power brick, chargers, something to charge a device on the go. Who knows? Just all, a lot of it depends on how much we raise with this. So, make sure to get in there and help us out. And
Yep.
if we don't reach the goal, then everybody else that wanted to support by placing their order, they won't get their shirt. So don't
Yeah.
make everybody else sad.
Hmm. Make everybody happy pain to face.
All right. Help everybody. It's just little things like that. So again, we do appreciate all the support, and also on our live page if you want to watch future episodes and you're available around noon Eastern Standard Time on Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. Come on over to thetechinformers.com/live. Interact in the chat room and watch live as well. It's a whole lot of fun. Seriously, a whole lot of fun. So you can find me on Twitter at Kevin Harvell. You can find JJ at JJ Hammond Music on Twitter as well. So you can also find the Tech Informist on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, Instagram, pretty much everywhere.
And that concludes Volume 1.
That concludes Volume 1, yes, exactly. So, again, thank you, everybody. It's been a great special episode. This was fun. I mean, for me, I'd like to do something like this on a more frequent basis. So hopefully we get enough good feedback, and we'll do it again sometime.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody, have a wonderful weekend, and again, thank you. So from everybody here at Tech Informers, consider yourself informed in one way or another. We are out.